Modern football generates tens of billions of dollars annually, played in stadiums built to hold 100,000 people. Historically, we have credited this massive cultural footprint to a few private schools and village greens in 19th century England. However, the historical record indicates that the sport's geographic and temporal origins are far older than the British narrative suggests. To find the actual start of this timeline, we have to look past the Victorian era and back more than 2,000 years. This timeline raises a specific question. If the English did not invent the world's most lucrative sport, where did the rules and the rituals of the game actually begin? Identifying these 2,000-year-old origins is necessary to understand how a localized pastime eventually reached nearly every corner of the earth. 2 millennia ago, Mesoamerican civilizations were already hosting organized team ball games. These permanent stone courts indicate that the sport was a central societal institution rather than a casual or spontaneous activity. Physical evidence, like this terracotta model, reveals the complexity of these matches. The figures are arranged in specific positions, suggesting the use of structured teams and a defined set of field rules. The density of the ball and the lunging poses of the players reflect the intense physical demands of the game. It required a level of athleticism and coordination that mirrors the professional standards we see today. This wasn't a localized phenomenon. Similar ball-kicking games appeared independently in the Han Dynasty in China, across ancient Greece, and within indigenous cultures in North America. The widespread appearance of these games across unconnected civilizations suggests that organized ball play is a common thread in human history, providing the raw material for what would eventually become a unified sport. By the 19th century, the role of the game shifted from ancient tradition to a standardized system within England. The Industrial Revolution necessitated this change. As people moved into urban centers, the chaotic and often violent regional versions of the game were merged into a single, structured rulebook that players from different backgrounds could all follow. This unified rulebook transformed the game into a mobile system. As British engineers and trade workers traveled global industrial routes, they carried these specific regulations with them, allowing the game to take root in different countries simultaneously. The establishment of the inaugural World Cup leveraged these rules to create a formal international competition. By the early 20th century, stadiums were already filling with tens of thousands of spectators to witness these cross-border matches. While ancient cultures established the practice of the game, and England provided the regulatory framework, it was this era of international competition that built the sport into a global system. The modern era represents the high-end commercial result of this 2,000-year timeline. The World Cup trophy is now treated as a luxury object, often unveiled from bespoke designer cases at the start of global tournaments. The financial data shows that football operates as a multi-billion-dollar economic powerhouse. Revenue from broadcasting, licensing, and ticket sales has increased exponentially compared to the sport's earnings just a century ago. This wealth is supported by an unparalleled viewership. Data indicates that a significant portion of the total human population now watches the World Cup final, creating a footprint that few other cultural events can match. This massive scale creates a shared cultural experience. The presence of thousands of fans in coordinated colors demonstrates the way the game produces a common identity across different nationalities. Re-examining the history of the sport shows that the English origin story is insufficient to explain how the game reached its current scale. Football maintains its global position because it combines a 2,000-year-old human practice with a modern industrial framework, resulting in a sport that has been refined by dozens of cultures over 20 centuries.